What's the name of the unit you're working on there, Keith?
Moixa, yeah. There was 30 done in Ireland, and there's a good few issues with it now. Like, worked well for 7, 8 years. So I don't know. So the pilot schemes weren't overly expensive, so they probably got their payback on it anyway. Do you know what I mean? So even if they were to be taken out now, you're like easily upgraded, and then they're easily upgraded, but they're not losing anything either. But like, they might have to pay to get an extra battery or an inverter in. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, with that being a first generation pilot scheme in Ireland, Keith, if you were to upgrade that nowadays, what would you upgrade it with?
Swap this one out for a hybrid inverter. So that's just a string inverter, so that's basic. You know what I mean? There's no bells and whistles. There's no option to charge batteries from that. This is a like an external battery. It's its own battery system, if you know what I mean, standalone. So you can actually charge and discharge the battery regardless of this. This is just an extra thing you can do with it. So you can charge the batteries obviously from solar, but you can also time charge these as well at off peak rates and stuff, you know what I mean? And then discharge at, peak times, you know what I mean? Or peak times for payback and stuff. But they're the batteries, um pylon tech, uh quite basic, you know what I mean? So that's I think it's like a 2.3 or 2.4 kilowatt storage and that. And then there's a second one in here. So basically they sit in to this housing and then connect up to the system, like, you know what I mean? But then you've got this inverter here, which is obviously changing the DC from the battery to AC back to the grid. Then there's a couple of mini boards there, solar, fireman there. So the solar's all out on the roof, you know what I mean?
Considering what you have nowadays, Keith, what are the safety features like on that model?
Nothing really safety wise on this unit as well. So there's an external zeal relay, so it's like a voltage tracker. You can see it there. It's tracking at 240 there now at the minute. So basically that's set up for Irish grid standard, so it won't let it go in or out of the parameters too low or too high. So basically, if this is doing a bit of dirty voltage here, uh, if this is doing 30 voltage here, it will obviously send that 30 voltage back to the grid. You know what I mean? Which is not good for no good for anyone. So that has to be put in as regulation. Like, but most of these inverters will have the safety feature in it. It's just this battery unit that doesn't. Do you know what I mean? So the inverter has the Irish grid standards. So that, like, if you had that just connected to the grid now at the minute, that'd work fine. That has all the safety features in it, but not this. You know what I mean?
Would that unit be considered energy efficient, or would there be a lot of loss in that?
Yeah, like, it's not the best. Like, if you think about it here, like, you've got a couple of inverters in play here. So you've this one here, and then you have this one here. So basically, you're creating your solar. If you're going to be trying to charge these batteries from solar, your DC obviously is coming in here, obviously being sent over here through the wiring system, obviously. But obviously, if you have excess being created here, it will go into here in AC. You know what I mean, and get converted to DC to charge these batteries. And then obviously, if you're using it in the house, then you're actually going to look to utilize that power in these batteries. Then you're going back up into the inverter. It's changing it again from DC to AC and then back into your house. So there's a and like, if anyone works with these, they'll know, like, that there's some heat out of these and there's some heat out of these as well. So there's a lot of heat loss, which obviously equals energy as well. So that's energy losses.
Mir, do you think the extra heat has a negative effect on the batteries?
Um, it's just these batteries, the Pylon Tech. This particular version is not gettable here anymore. So obviously they've seen something in them that's obviously warranted not producing them anymore. Now they do have their newer versions of these, but I presume there's a lot of extra safety features and maybe more storage in it. But with this system here, it's size dependent. So these two fit in this unit perfectly. Do you know what I mean? So if I lift that up and put it in here, it sits in perfectly, and then you've got the cover that goes over it. So like it was a really good. It would have been like a competitor for like the likes of the Tesla Powerwall. Do you know what I mean? So it is a Powerwall basically, like, you know, but with limited storage. You know what I mean? You can't build it either, so you can't go any bigger than 5. You know what I mean in that unit. But 8 years ago, that was 8 years ago that was like amazing. Like that was magic that you were able to do it. Brilliant.
What's the engineer support like on it?
There is engineer support. So like I'm in constant contact with a company in the UK that are managing the support and technical on them. So like as we're speaking now, they're deciding what has to be done here. So what we think is obviously the unit dropped out, so power was lost to this is the main hub. So once that's gone, basically it's all off. And then these are after going into sleep mode, which might mean that they're less than 10%. So basically the BMSs have locked out. So when you press this button here, it'll show up an alarm and it won't reset. Even if you do the reset procedure, it's like turning this off for like 5 minutes and then turn it back on, and you try and wake up the battery. It won't wake up because it's in lockout mode. Basically the BMS locked out, so the only way to actually bring it back to life is force charging it with basically like a jumper pack, 48 to 52 volts for I don't know, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
So the age old turn it off and back on again doesn't work on this.
No, it usually works for everything else, but this doesn't seem to like it, which is probably a good thing, I suppose. But yeah, it's not just as easy. Like there is facility, Solar Electricity actually do a service. Like if you buy the stuff with them, they'll do a regen for you, which is handy. But other than that, you're trying to do it yourself. So I don't know what the standpoint is for warranties when you're doing it yourself and you're not, not trained in it. If you know what I mean. It's very easy to upgrade it, but obviously it's down to cost. You know what I mean.
Class bit of insight there. Listen, I have to head off to a job here now, so I'll catch you later on. Take it easy.
Yeah, go on, sir. I'll talk to you in a bit.